becoming a crypto millionaire. That's what we are going to discuss here today. And especially when you are looking at XRP and XRP holders, we have seen this in a lot of different ways across the spectrum. But this is a bit different. You're going to look not just at that 1 million mark. Instead, you're going to look at the top 1 percentile. It's not just 1 percentile of the entire world in that perspective, but a clarity about what age group you belong to and how much money you really should want to be in that 1% group. Because total world, you have 62.5 million millionaires. That's the number from 2020. That's a big number. So you have a vast amount of people who have already achieved that. But what's the difference? Because if you are making that when you're 75, 80, now the life which you have after that to enjoy that money is going to be shorter. Whereas if you manage to reach that level at a young age, that's a huge achievement. If you look at US, you will see the stat. 1.79 million of the 22 million millionaires in the US are under 30. So you have 22 million millionaires just in the United States, and only 1.79 million of that are under 30. So what are they really doing differently? And for us, when we are in the crypto market, it interests us to learn what we really do think about an asset and how much units of this asset you hold. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. These charts, they do convey a huge story. It does give us the perspective of what happened in the market and where we are in that market cycle for sure. And when the indicators align themselves, it kind of gives you a better alignment to see, okay, something bigger is coming. There is no doubt in that. And that's one of the reasons why this topic becomes interesting. The way I look at it, I'm looking at this average. You need to keep this in mind. First, you need to understand what the average guys are doing out there. So if you say you're 25 years old or just below that, average is negative. Even when you're 30, the average is negative. So when you're 35, the average is $25,000 in the bank. So if you're doing better than that at 25 years old, wow, that's a huge thing. Now, yeah, that's just the average side of things here. But what about the top 1%? Now, these numbers give you a reality of life as well as the decisions you take. Top 1% in between 18 to 24. To become in that range, you now need $400,000. Now, for some of you who are still young and just starting out, these can be great target points. And for some of you who are already in the market for a long period of time, who's, at the top range of the age group here, you need to think about this clearly. Let me go. Top 1% in 25 to 29 is 600,000. Now, where's the real jump happening? 400 in between 18 to 24, 600 in between 25 to 29, 950 by 30 to 34. But then, from there you see a massive jump. So if you are 35 and older, you have already crossed that region. Now, you should think about this clearly. When you are 35 or below, the competition out there, the 1%, they have a clear thought process. They are trying to make it big. They are trying to push it through. And by the age of 35 to 39, they do that big, massive push. Great. So it gives you a clarity here. From 1 million, you literally just went to 4 million. Great. After that, okay, that was like a 3x first, and now you did a 80% run up. which is from 40 to 44. After which 45 to 49, you see the upside is slowly saturating. Now, this is the 1%. I'm not talking about the 0.1%. These guys are like the anomalies. Now, ask this question to yourself. Which age group do you belong to? I belong to this age group, and this is talking about the net worth, not the literal cash you have. And I'm happy I'm in that group, and I'm from a third world country, you can call it that way, or a developing nation, right? If you are in that sector and you're already in the crypto market, you've been investing in these assets, ask this question. How much XRP do you really hold? Ask that question. And I'm not talking about an exit point, which is like, $10,000, which is like $1,000. I'm not talking about that kind of crazy shit here. I'm talking about the reality. And if the price action is showing you something clear, it's not just the XRP part of it. It's not just the breakout retest in XRP. It's also a massive indicator from the entire altcoin market. You look at this and you understand this perspective clearly. Now, I remember saying the exact same thing back in 2021 when we broke above this range. Now, we do have everything recorded, everything in the YouTube, so it's still there. You can go back and check it. The thought process here is you break above the moving average, you break above and get a lot of momentum. Now you push through into the all-time highs. What happens after that is even more interesting. I would say, keep this in your notes. When you break through one key region after a long period of time, look at that. After 2014 high, say November 2013 highs, you literally consolidated a long period of time. So 2014, 2015, now mid 2016, say early 2016, you break through that range and you consolidate for a year at that point. So literally, it took you 2.5 years of downside. Now, just be clear. This was the top. This was the retest of that top. That took you 800 days. This is the top. There's a retest of that top. It took 1,120 days. So you are literally taking more time because you do have a lot more people coming in. Now, what's the catch here? You went up and you consolidated there for a great period of time, 378 days. That's a huge time frame. Great. Now, you look at what just happened here. You went on, you did that consolidation, and now here we are 875 days of consolidation. So the market is not going to give you that easy movement into reaching this millionaire status, into reaching this top 1% status. Why? Because if so, everyone would have done that. This is just 1% reaching that levels because the 99% can't do this. That's the amount of pain the market is going to take us through. You need to literally go through that and come out on top. Otherwise, forget that, because that's going to be really hard, because on the other side of the economy, we are watching this. On the other side of the economy, we are literally observing all these numbers, and that's not a good sign. This doesn't look great for sure. Now, Canada just went on doing another 25 basis point hike, and if before that, you already saw this, that means in next 3 months, in next 6 months, it's going to be really tough for the economical side here. Now, why is that really important? Because when you look at the price action and you say, okay, my exit is at $10, my exit is at $15, my exit is at $20. I understand that perspective. You try to average up. You do your exits. You take the money and move out. Because as soon as you see the breakout, the retest, usually which happens a couple of times, and then go higher, things are going to look different. Because last time to retest that 2 times, you literally had to go through this trend line and do a fake out. Now, we know that some of these assets do differently. Some of these assets do all these kind of crazy things where it confuses us. Now, you go back into the reality, look at what's happening right now. So if you want to actually retest that range, you may actually come down to 0.36, where you would literally be testing this range of price action, right? And you would break this level, you would retest this level, and that's the second retest and a bounce. Now, how high this is going to bounce? No one actually knows, but we know one thing for sure. Last time we did that, we went on crazy 700x. Now, am I saying that exact number is going to repeat this time? No. But if you actually look at the fundamentals of it, things are different. You're actually literally watching the CBDC solutions entering down that aisle. You are literally watching the Digital Euro Foundation, the Digital Pound Foundation, all of them coming here and giving you the narrative of these guys are not just doing time pass out there. They are working on something big. The CBDCs are actually coming out, whether we agree with that or not. And that's exactly why when you go onto this space and see this in the payments.com, and I'm like, okay, that's really interesting. We have seen a lot of people entering into that arena of becoming a crypto millionaire in the early part of this crypto market cycle. Some of them happens to be just in Doge. Some of them made it in SHIB, right? Very rare people have made it from the real utility asset. Now, it's a different question whether you consider Ether one or not, but you get my point. Because it's really hard when the value is understandable. The marketplace becomes highly competitive. The people actually who control the market, who are the whales in the market, try to literally shake off people. They would do all those in their power to make you sell, push the price lower, buy even that one from the circulating supply, and then push the price up because there is no much supply available. That's the climax of the selling that's done. Now you see the buying price action going and pushing all the way to the upside. Now, let's say conservative and let's say like, okay, we're not actually looking at the 700x. Let's actually put in the perspective of 80x. Where do we literally go? Say we come back down, we retest the 0.35, 0.36 range, and we take that 80x. That's somewhere close to a $27, $30 XRP. Now, let's be realistic. Let's stay realistic. Great. If that's the number you're looking at, how much XRP do you really have? Because if you say that, nah, I disagree with you. A lot of other people are saying it's going to be $1,000, it's going to be $10,000, it's going to be $100,000. Great. You now don't need much amount of XRP. You can just buy $100 worth of XRP today and become a millionaire. But do you really think that's the reality? It's that easy to become the millionaire part? Why is that? Why do I ask that question in that way? Because if you actually reach that number of $1 million, now if you're below 34, you're in the top 1%. So you have the top end guys in the Harvard, Oxford, around the globe, the IITs, the top end business guys who are selling their business at a higher price by the age of 34. So we are competing against them. The money flow is coming into the market. So will that be that easy? Ask that question to yourself. So when you come down to the reality, you boil down everything and you say, okay, maybe this is going to be the top. Maybe it's going to go higher. I don't know. But if I would stay conservative and say, okay, not 27, let's look at a $10 below that, $70 to $20. Keep that straight. And if you now have enough units to hit $1 million at that price point, if the price actually goes way beyond that, you are literally averaging up. Even with the 5 to 10% of XRP holdings aside for any price points above your targets, you are averaging up, which means you can literally pull a big chunk of your XRP. Say you imagine the 27 price point, the price goes to a $50 price point at that time. Great. You just put another 5%, take the profits out. What happens? You're averaging up. Instead of 27, now it's like 35. If you have another 5%, if it goes to $55, $60, you can do that. But what's important? What if the price gets rejected by this $20, $25, $30 and goes back down to $3? If you don't take profit, that's a huge waste of time after waiting all this long. So it's really important to take profit as you go higher at your desired exits. And those exits should not be something at the sky high levels of $1,000, $10,000 and all. Maybe in the wave 3 segment, you're going to do another 30, 40x. Great, you're going to hit 3 digits. That's okay. We all know that at one point in time, we'll go to $100, we'll go to $200, we'll go to $300. That's coming. But we don't know whether that's happening right now in this wave because it's really hard to understand. Based on the history, this is what you're looking at. Now, if you do think the amount of XRP you have and the price point we just discussed goes in and you can make this, that's a huge part. And depending on your age group, if you say like, Danny, I'm in this age group, say 40 to 44, great, and I come a little bit shorter than this number. That's not bad because this is the entire globe and the top 1% in your age group. You get that point because once you go through this, now you go on to the hard assets, the real estate, the stock markets. Everything is going to go on sale for sure because you're literally watching all these central banks doing what they want to do to kick the economy down. That's going to be heavy opportunity for you. So guys, this is key. Learning every day is the key. Understanding where the opportunities lies is going to be a key factor. And if you are looking at the entire crypto market, different assets, their outlooks, what they're doing, when you should take profit, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. And if you did receive value, please do hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already. And I will meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.